This is like an editorial now because everyone knows what happened. I'm going to start talking from my heart and from my intuition and my instincts. This man is hungry. He is very hungry for power, and he's very smart. And he's very smart because he took the experiences and the lessons from his father, and he is applying them, kind of revitalizing them and recycling the same way of doing things, but he's hiding certain things. And if you noticed, he didn't really criticize Obama during this. And if you also notice, he's gone on record saying that it's not really about Brennan. Well, what was the filibuster for if it's not about Brennan? It is about Brennan. So let's go down to what it is for. Was this grandstanding? It just amazes me how Americans, and I do say this again from my heart, America, I am trying to help you. How many people do you know have the communist experience or the background of her parents and a whole community of 500,000 people who experience this? I know what hurting is like. I know what happened when people had one bad administration and then the result was another worse administration, because things were great in Cuba. Capitalism was thriving. Cuba was flourishing. There was a great economy. But there was a government there that got criticism, Batista's government, and so that was wrong. Let's compare it to Bush. People didn't like Bush's government, so they got angry. And so they got angry, and this opportunity for someone else to come along and to criticize that situation, and then to come in and to capitalize on that, and to get people all worked up and everything. We're in a very vulnerable situation. We are making ourselves vulnerable by cheerleading, by patting people on the back, giving each other high fives, like if this was some kind of football game. This is not a sport, what's going on. This is real life. I wouldn't be doing this. I don't do this for any other reason except to share my experiences. I wish that people understood. I'm not out to compete with anybody. I don't want to tell anybody what to do. I just know what is going on. And I know that something really ugly reared its head. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but I'm getting a lot of resistance from the same people who told me that I was wrong when I said Romney would not win. He didn't win. I said the GOP is against us. I was right about that too. I never made this about one candidate or another. I made it about the context. We had one candidate who would have been the antidote. Her name is Sarah Palin, but she didn't run. Fine. But I kept on with the GOP, because why should the GOP be telling us what to do? And now the problem has evolved into something much uglier. I don't know how to make people see something that I see. This week, I kept saying, you guys, stop with, I call it the collective hysteria. Stop. Let's take a moment. Let's let the dust settle. Let's see what comes of this. It's just not working. Yeah, things are I see things worse than I did when it was 2007, because we're vulnerable much more. We've been slapped around. We are allowing ourselves, through our gullibility, to be exploited by people who are smart and who know how to work a crowd, and that is the family of the Pauls. Let's face it, you're good at that. I have been called so many more names for saying the truth when it wasn't convenient. And I'm willing to take it. I don't care. I don't care what happens to me for speaking up. I don't care if I blame Breitbart News for being hysterical and it's funny, but you know what? It's not so funny when you see the consequences of what is going on, because people who do not have our best intentions in mind are the ones watching this circus. I'm going to put a clip of Rand Paul, in his own words, making me very nervous. It makes me nervous that people don't want to see this. So
I think they're on the wrong side of history on this one. They are of the belief that the war is everywhere. So they kind of agree with some of the things the president's been saying, that there are no geographic limitations. They also then say that the laws of war apply. Well, the laws of war basically mean that you don't get due process. And I can understand that in the battlefield. I'm not for reading Miranda rights to people that are shooting at us. If you're an opposing soldier and you shoot at me, we kill you. There is no Miranda rights, there's no jury, there's no trials, there's no due process. But they say America is the battlefield. That's a huge mistake, and I think most Americans would disagree with them if they knew the implications. If we're bringing the laws of war, which stated another way are martial law, to America, I think Americans would be, really amazed and really upset to find out that guess what? We're going to have the law of war in America because it's a battlefield, which means you get no due process. These are the same people who are arguing to indefinitely detain citizens in our country without a trial. When I asked Senator McCain the direct question on the floor, could an American citizen be sent to Guantanamo Bay without a trial and kept forever? And his answer was yes. See, they think it's enough, and the Wall Street Journal, frankly, is confused on this, quite confused. They think, well, yeah, enemy combatants, it's legal to do this to enemy combatants. So that begs the question, who gets to decide who's an enemy combatant?
Rand Paul said, I will speak until I can no longer speak. And I say, I am going to speak and not shut up until I find out everything that's going on. Do you understand where I'm coming from? People, you need to wake up. Don't take anything for granted. I see these mistakes. I see people just getting carried away and swept away with what everyone else is doing and saying and everything. And I am very, very scared for this country. I love this country. I lost my country. I will never see my country again. I am haunted. I am haunted by that reality. I may never see my country again,